the newest video stream I put up because it had the incorrect date on it. Now it has the correct date on it. So we got a lot to do over the next 3 hours. We are joined by producer engineer extraordinaire working out of Houston. The Brian McDonald is working with us tonight. We get him twice this week. It's like Christmas. I get my guy. Oh, thank you. You like that? Yeah. Over on Twitter, at the back page, you can watch the show. Also on Twitch, Jason Page 77, the Decibel 88 page over on YouTube, which nobody watches. Facebook, look for Jason Page or Decibel 88. And I've put it everywhere. I've spread my seed, so to speak. We're going to do something fun tonight. Brian gets to be part of his first giveaway show. No, you don't. We put it into a randomizer. We put it into a randomizer at the end of the show. And the best part is, Brian, you don't have to do any work for this one because we do our giveaways via the Cash-In exclusive text line. Your chance to win starts now. What are we giving away, you may ask? Well, the first week we did the giveaways, we gave away an autographed ball signed by Eric Dickerson, Hall of Famer, Ed Reed, Hall of Famer, and Christian Okoye, the Nigerian Nightmare, the great running back for the Kansas City Chiefs. Tonight, last week we gave away for Pi Day a pizza gift card, which was Pizza Hut for our winner. I think it's Edgar, who won in Austin, Texas. No, he won in Arlington, Texas, which I think is just outside Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. There you go. Edgar was our winner last week, listening on 97.1 The Freak. So we've had two winners so far, both from Texas, one from Austin and one from Arlington. I know, Texas. Well, we are big in Texas. Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of championships and winners. We like to hook our audience up. So yesterday on the show, I was debating: should we give away? I have an autographed basketball signed by a Hall of Famer, and I did not name who the Hall of Famer is, but I have a basketball autographed by a Hall of Famer that I was considering giving away, or I was going to give away a Shohei Ohtani rookie baseball card. Right, in honor of, I was going to give up a Shohei Ohtani rookie baseball card. It's 2018 Bowman. It's just your 2018 standard Bowman card. And if you're looking on the screen now, you could actually see it up on the video feed of the show. There it is, up on the video feed for everybody to see. So there it is, just so you know it's real. And I have decided we are going to give away the Shohei Ohtani rookie baseball card tonight on the show. Now, well, I could have given away the autographed basketball. Now I will tell who the autographed basketball is now that we're not giving it away. It is a Hall of Famer. You're such a goof. No. I actually do have some WWE cards that I bought just to see what they looked like, but I don't have any of the good ones. So I am going to give away tonight a Shohei Ohtani rookie baseball card. Here's how you get it. Here's the kicker. You have to go and text us on the Cash-In exclusive text line. 888-670-8549 is the exclusive line for this show to text. 888-670-8549. You text that number. Tell me your name, where you are listening to us, and then give me your AL or NL MVP pick for this year. And anything else you feel like adding. But required in order to get this card is an AL or NL MVP pick. One or the other. If you want to give me both, that's up to you. But you got to give me one or the other. Name where you're listening to us, who you think's going to win AL or NL or both MVPs. That's how you get the card. At the end of the show, you will be entered in to a drawing. We randomize it. I've even shown how we randomize it on video so that people know. We will randomize it, and at the end of the show, somebody is going to win a Shohei Ohtani 2018 Bowman rookie card, which, if you get it graded and it comes back at 10, is probably around a $100 card. So, and you could just hang on to it, and that's up to you, too. I mean, you're talking about potentially one of the greatest baseball players of all time. And I'm giving you his rookie card. And I'm going to be brutally honest, not to try and be sappy or anything like that. It's the only Shohei Ohtani rookie card I have. I actually don't own any other Shohei Ohtani rookie cards. I bought a box of Bowman about a year ago from 2018, which was not cheap. And my whole goal was to get a Shohei Ohtani rookie card. And then I suddenly realized I'm not a big Shohei Ohtani collector. So why am I going after his rookie cards? So I decided when we were doing a giveaway, that's what I'm going to give away. I literally give you my own stuff on this show. I mean, how many people are doing that? You think Dan Patrick's giving you anything in his studio? I doubt it. Jim Rome? I doubt it. I doubt it. I'm giving you literally the stuff that I have. That's a great idea, Brian. That's a great idea. Just give away the stuff that I don't like that belongs to him. That's great. Yeah, well, the funny part is he just left today for 12 days to Singapore. So I am literally, I am living the bachelor life for the next 12 days. True story. Yep. No, are you kidding? The diet gets easier. The diet gets easier when he's not here, because all the breaking of the diet usually because of the crap he eats or cooks late at night. Oh no. If anything, I will lose weight while he's gone. Yeah, no, I'll be in good shape. I'll be all right while he's gone for 12 days. When he comes back, I'll be like 7 to 10 pounds lighter if everything goes according to plan. So, yeah, he's literally on a plane right now to Singapore, which is a 17-hour flight. So, anyways, that's how you get it tonight. The text line again, 888-670-8549. Your name, where you're texting from, and give me an AL and or NL MVP pick for Major League Baseball. We will draw the winner at the end of the show tonight. You have between now and about 20 minutes before the show ends to get it in. Then we cut off the submissions, throw them in the randomizer, and see what happens. So looking forward to giving that away tonight. I love giving stuff away to our listeners. It's so much fun. We cannot do that. No. Nope. Knicks lose tonight in Miami. Heat get a measure of revenge after the Knicks won a thriller there on a Julius Randle bucket late. Tonight, Miami gets the best of the Knicks, 127-120. Jimmy Butler, 35 in the win. R.J. Barrett, 26 in the loss for New York, who has now lost a couple of games in a row. We're watching the Warriors and Mavericks come down to the wire tonight. Golden State leads Dallas 123-122. And literally in the final seconds of that game, we'll let you know what happens. We're going to be joined tonight on the show. Really thrilled. Stephen Curry, a big layup late. So Golden State leads Dallas 125-122, 8.5 seconds left, and it'll be Dallas ball. No Kyrie Irving for the Mavericks tonight, as he is nursing an injury. We've got a great show tonight. I mean, we have a great show every night, but we have a really great show tonight. The UConn Huskies are in the Sweet 16. They play Arkansas tomorrow in Las Vegas. Vegas, baby, Vegas. We're going to be joined by Tom Moore, who is the assistant head coach to Dan Hurley for the UConn Huskies men's basketball program. Tom Moore was an assistant under Jim Calhoun when the UConn Huskies won national championships. Then he went and coached himself at Quinnipiac University, which was then in the Northeast Conference. And after being let go there, went back to UConn Actually, he may have coached with Hurley somewhere else too, and then he followed Hurley when Hurley came over to UConn after Kevin Ollie was let go. So Tom Moore will join us to talk about the matchup against Arkansas. We'll go through the NCAA tournament with him and where UConn is in the Sweet 16 with an opportunity to do something that has never been done in the history of college basketball. We talked about this on the show last night. Or was it last night or the night before? No, it was Brian. Yeah, it was on Monday because Brian was doing the show with us. They have a chance to win a third national championship with a third different head coach in a span of 13 years. I mean, it's just crazy. It's never been done. Which just goes to show you how UConn perseveres through coaching changes, player turnover, all of it. More than any school ever. We're coming back. Lots to do. I'll tell you more about what we got coming up on the show as well. Stay tuned. Oh, Patrick Ewing. I bought that in Vegas with company funds. Really struggled to win on the road. And a big win for the Warriors tonight in Dallas, 127-125. So that's a big one. It's a big one for Golden State. A reminder, I will remind you at the start of every segment tonight. If you are just tuning in, we are doing a giveaway. Every week on the show, we're doing giveaways. I haven't made it a certain date, but every week on the show, we're doing a giveaway at least once per show. Tonight, we're giving away a Shohei Ohtani rookie baseball card. That's a 2018 Bowman. We're going to give that away tonight to one person who participates in our text-only contest. The cash-in exclusive text line is open, 888-670-8549, 888-670-8549. The rules are simple. Send me your name, where you're listening to us, and tonight, the third part of that equation is you must text us your AL and or National League MVP pick for the upcoming baseball season. You don't have to be right. I just want to see who you guys are picking. That's how you get entered to win. Then we put you in the randomizer at the end of the show. We will pick a winner. If you have won either of the first two contests, if you won the autographed football, if you won the pizza giveaway we did last week on the show, you are not eligible to win. We want new winners, not the same people winning over and over again. I mean, it would be hard for you to win considering the number of people that enter these things, and we put them in the randomizer, but I don't even want to take the chance. So I'm just making it clear now. If I see a same name attached to a same phone number, that sort of thing, we're not going to enter you to win. Plain and simple. Oh, my phone ringer's on. I just got an ESPN alert. Suns and Lakers tonight. Anthony Davis and company. I'll tell you, you get to see three teams tonight that are competing for spots in the postseason, like that are on the playoff bubble, which is kind of cool, with the Warriors and the Mavericks, and then now with the Lakers taking on Phoenix. So this is a pretty interesting, two games tonight on the NBA slate as it relates to the ESPN doubleheader. Coming up in 13 minutes. So that's how you answer the contest. 888-670-8549. Throughout the night, I will read those text messages. When you hear me read your name, you will know that you are officially entered to win. Simple as that. Tom Moore, the assistant head coach with the UCONN men's basketball program. UCONN and Arkansas in the Sweet 16 in Las Vegas, 7:15 p.m. Eastern tip on Thursday night. We will be joined by Tom Moore coming up with that UCONN men's basketball program. He will join us 12 minutes from now on the show. An hour and 12 minutes from now on the show, Scott Seidenberg, who does a terrific job with pregame.com, straight out of Vegas AM edition. He hosts that morning podcast. We will be joined by Scott Seidenberg tonight, 8:30 p.m. Pacific, 11:30 p.m. Eastern on the show to talk about all your handicapping needs as it relates to the NCAA Tournament's Sweet 16, some MVP futures picks in both the NBA and baseball. Where is Lamar Jackson going to go? There are betting odds on that. All things betting with Scott Seidenberg on the show tonight. He is very knowledgeable in that world, does a terrific job with pregame. He will join us as well. So, there's a lot going on. It's a busy sports night. As we get the show started, I got a whole slew of topics to sort of go into. Ja Morant finally got back on the court tonight, and you saw exactly why the league was so, hesitant to the idea of suspending this guy for an entire season. He came off the bench tonight for the Grizzlies, as the coach is trying to sort of ease him back in, and he played really well. 23 minutes off the bench, he had 17 points. As the Grizzlies are about to wrap up a victory against the Rockets, they're up 6 with just under a minute to go in the fourth quarter. But you can see all the reasons why the league wants to give Ja Morant every opportunity to succeed. One, you realize how young he is, how quickly he was thrust into stardom out of, barely known Murray State. And as I've followed this story, I have been critical of the league. I thought they should have come down on Ja Morant harder. But I'm also able to admit when maybe I could be wrong. And I don't know if there's a right or wrong when you're just giving an opinion. There's your opinion, there's my opinion. There's not a right or wrong opinion. There's just an opinion. You can give incorrect facts. You could be right or wrong on your facts. You're not going to be right or wrong on your opinion. There's no if you give an opinion. I may disagree with it, but it's your opinion. And in the case of Ja Morant, I felt like the league could have come down harder on him. But when I watch this guy play the game, and I watch the things he can do, and I don't know if he's built. If you look at him physically, he's kind of gaunt. He's not jacked. He's not, he's small. Like he's Stephen Curry size, but even Stephen Curry feels like he's got a little meat on the bones. Ja Morant feels like, a stiff breeze can blow him over. He's not a big dude. And I think they list him at 6'1 or 6'2, but if he's 6 feet, I'd be shocked. He's not a heck of a lot taller than me. But when you watch him play the game, you watch the ferocity with which he goes to the basket and how dynamic of a talent he is. And I still think he can get better. I think he can get better as far as shooting the basketball and all those things. But when I watch him play, and I watch him on a night like tonight, you understand quickly why the league wants to give him every opportunity to succeed, even if it's to his detriment. Even if it's, hey, you don't punish him hard enough, he doesn't get the message, he goes and screws up again. Now, there are some people that will tell you I'm completely wrong on this, and they feel like he's had the you-know-what scared out of him, and he's going to figure it out and get it turned around and be, a better citizen, be a better ambassador for the NBA. Again, I'm a show-me guy. I was just watching one of his highlights, literally, as I was saying that, where he just drove to the basket. And again, he's 6'1", 6'2", and he's just flying through the air and dunking on Kenyon Martin Jr. Oh, put him on a poster. And you understand why the league would be hesitant to put this guy on ice for the rest of this regular season or the playoffs. And if you basically put him on ice for the playoffs, you're basically saying, Memphis, you have no chance. Now your fan base there is disappointed. You've created an anti-league sentiment. Remember how that worked out in New England? Tom Brady, deflate. I mean, the Patriot fans will never forgive Roger Goodell. They'll always look with a skewed view towards the NFL because of the way they treated the Patriots. Deflategate, Spygate, whatever. Always going after the Patriots. Even though they literally created a rule for the Patriots, literally created, the Brady rule. Frankly, they created two rules. The Tuck rule, and then the Brady rule where you can't hit a quarterback in the knees, or if unless you get pushed into him or whatever it may be, you can't hit a quarterback low anymore. So you can't hit a quarterback high now, and back then they outlawed hitting the quarterback low. And that was basically created specifically for the Patriots. Everybody was like, oh, the league's coming after the Patriots. They don't want the Patriots to win. They literally created two rules specifically because of you. But you won't mention any of that. But back to the Grizzlies and the matter at hand, which is Ja. I hope he gets it right. I hope he does have it scared out of him. Remember Chris Carter? A lot of people listening might be too old to remember. Chris Carter was within an eyelash of being out of the league. Had all sorts of off-the-field issues. And there was that come-to-Jesus moment, almost literally a come-to-Jesus moment. And the rest of his career, model citizen. Was a great ambassador for the league. Star wide receiver. Killed it in Minnesota. And really even still now, one of the elder statesmen of the game and of the league. And he is living proof. And there have been other examples of guys who have figured it out. Some later than others. Ja's got a chance still at a young point in his career for all of this to be ancient history and to be part of a bio at the end of his career where he's a success story rather than a cautionary tale. And I watched him tonight, and it got me. I almost found myself rooting for him. Rooting that he could get it figured out. Rooting that he can turn it around. Hopefully he does. 1-800-224-2004, 800-224-2004. You want to text the show, go ahead and do it. Tonight, text-only contest. Chance to win Shohei Ohtani not autographed, sorry. Oh, my God, I almost went crazy there. A Shohei Ohtani rookie baseball card that we're giving away, 2018 Bowman. You got a chance to win it. Just text us, 888-670-8549. Name, where you're listening, and an MVP pick. We're back with Tom Moore on the other side. Good to have you with us. SportsMap Radio. SportsMap Radio.
Yep. He is live.
It's alive. Typically, I would. But the reality is, I'm trying to get healthy right now. It's my life at stake. Yeah, but it's true. No messing around anymore. No, not yet. Yeah, I want to have a more formal conversation. Yeah, that's fine. Just the part where I talk about, obviously, you can take out all the other stuff. Yeah. All right. How much time I got left? Okay. No. All right, let's do it. Yo!
What's up, Jay?
Don't worry, you're not going to be on video. It's just the audio is better on FaceTime than a regular phone. So
Okay.
don't sweat that.
Okay, no problem.
How the hell are you, man?
I'm good. How about you?
I got no complaints, dude. Living in Palm Springs, California, loving life. Good to have you all with us across the country on SportsMap Radio, the SportsMap Radio app, wherever you can see us, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, wherever. Always love, I haven't talked to this guy in, it feels like forever. And with UConn in the Sweet 16, I thought it was a great opportunity to reconnect with our old friend from my days in Hartford, in Connecticut, Tom Moore. who is the assistant head men's basketball coach at the University of Connecticut. They are in the Sweet 16 tomorrow night, 7:15 p.m. Eastern tip-off against Arkansas in the Sweet 16. And the Huskies have been impressive in their first 2 wins in this tournament. And let's bring him in now. Tom Moore, longtime assistant at UConn. Then he left, coached his own team, did a great job at Quinnipiac in the NEC, and then came back to coach at UConn as an assistant under Danny Hurley. Tom, first of all, congratulations on the team here making it into the Sweet 16. The first thing I want to ask you before I get into this team, you had a chance to be an assistant under Jim Calhoun, and obviously, part of championship runs there. Now you have an opportunity to do it with Danny Hurley. Try and give me the contrast, the differences between the two.
Wow. That's a good starting question, Jay.
And hold on 1 second, Tom. Hold on 1 second. For some reason, our audience can't hear you. I'm going to call you right back. Don't move. I'm going to call you right back. I don't know why that happens. It's so strange. We had this same issue the last time we did a video call. It's so odd, but we'll fix it. It's okay. That's what makes technology so great in this day and age. So we'll get Tom Moore back on. Brian, let me know that you can hear him. We'll get him back on. Tom, are you there?
Okay.
You got him. Okay. All right. There you are. All right. So I asked the question, differences between, doing this under Danny Hurley and doing this under Jim Calhoun, the difference between coaching working under those two guys.
I tell you, there's a hell of a lot more similarities than there are differences. They're wired very much the same. The biggest thing, Jay, is that they're basketball guys, and they are like 365 day a year guys, and their lives are very simple. They're about their family and they're about their program. And really, that's about it. I don't want to make them sound. They have a ton of other interests. Both of them are super intelligent, as you can imagine. Super smart, super competitive, but their lives are simple. They're not off writing books and doing lectures and getting caught up in hustling to make extra money based on their fame. They're about their program and their families. And I think that's why their teams play so hard for them, because the kids know that they're so invested. Like the kids know that you can't fake like being there. You can't fake being there. And I'm talking about, everybody's there from October to March, but they're there from April to September, and in the gym with them and working with them and talking with them and building relationships and deep relationships. And that's why the kids go to the wall for both of them. Like I said, very, very similar. The biggest difference, I'd say, is Coach Calhoun was probably harder on the guys in games, and I think you saw, because you went courtside a couple times when you were out here, and you saw Coach Calhoun's sideline intensity, and it was his intensity was directed at officials, at his players, at opposing players, opposing fans.
Media,
officials again, media officials again, right? Everyone. Once he was in that arena, it was basically a 2-hour war against everybody in the place, And but Dan's very much on game night. He's very much a positive influence and sort of he says he's like a corner man in the fight game. Like Dan likes to really hype up his guys in timeouts and empower them in timeouts. Dan's harder in practice. And it makes practices super intense and super competitive. Whereas Coach Calhoun was a little more. Coach could get intense in practice, but Coach pushed the guys harder, directly harder in games. Dan sort of, like I said, empowers a little bit more in games. But geez, the other stuff, program building and relationship building and navigating a team through a season, extremely similar.
Tom Moore, assistant head coach with the UConn Huskies men's basketball program, working with Dan Hurley there, joining us on the Cash In SportsMap Radio and the SportsMap Radio app with UConn in the Sweet 16 against Arkansas tomorrow. As well as UConn played in the first two games, Tom, one of the things that people will obviously know is the slow first halves. Iona, obviously, and then in your last game as well. How do you address that both with you and Coach Hurley? Is there something you can even do to get out of that situation, to get out of the slow starts?
Not sure, like Dan was on ESPN First Take this morning, and Mad Dog Russo like brought it up, and I thought he handled it well. I don't know that there's a ton that we can do per se. Dan, I think, almost like Bill Walsh, the late Bill Walsh was the first guy to sort of script the first 18 or 20 plays, right, of a football game. I think Dan goes into it with a really good idea of what he wants to call first 5, 6, 8, 10 plays. And I think he does a great job with that. But what we've seen, it seems like, is our depth, Jason, is the thing that is carrying us right now. And the wear-down effect on other teams genuinely sort of, it manifests itself more in the second half than it does the first half, obviously. So, like, we played, Iona Rick didn't really want to go too deep into his bench when you're playing a high major team. And those kids, we were down 3 at halftime, and it was an even game. But we felt like we were going to play 9, maybe 10, but like definitely 9. And we come at you in waves. And, we just wore them out in the second half. And, the guy in particular that people talk about a lot with this is Jordan Hawkins. He had 2 poor first halves and 2 outstanding second halves. And Jay, if you were down there on the court, sort of with us in the seats that you guys get and that we get for the game, like those kids, Jordan's the number 1 perimeter option in the other team's scouting report. So those guys are on him hard, and they usually put their best, biggest, most athletic perimeter defender on him, and they maul him off pin down screens and stagger screens. And in general, they do a good job early, but in general, they can't keep up the intensity defensively as the game wears on. And Jordan's in great cardiovascular shape. He just keeps going. We keep running really good stuff, and eventually we sort of, like I said, I think our depth and the sort of the fresh bodies coming at them at 6, 7, 8, and 9, and the quality of those guys, like, just usually wear teams out in the second half.
A little word association here. I say Adama Sanogo. Give me the one word you come up with.
Beast.
I mean, for people who look, a lot of people, start watching college basketball right when the tournament starts or conference tournament play. So there may be a lot of people that are still new to Adama Sanogo. The guy's averaging 17.3 a game, 7.5 boards, 60% from the field. He just does it all for this team, I guess at the center position, even though he's 6'9".
Yep.
For people that don't know a lot about how special this player is, give me something.
Jay, he's originally from Mali. He came over here to the United States, I think, when he was a sophomore in high school, possibly. Had to learn a new language and adapt to American culture and American basketball. And he's a relentless worker. He's a terrific kid. And he's a sort of a throwback, like nowadays, I guess he's an undersized 5. It's hard to project what his NBA position will be or can be. Some of the NBA people really like him. Some don't as much because he doesn't quite fit the NBA prototype.
Well, you know what I think of? I think of? I think of Jeff Adrian.
Yeah. He's actually Jeff was. We played Jeff back then and more as like a 4, but Jeff could face up a little more.
That's because you had a guy named The Beat.
Exactly. And that's our issue too, Jason. There's people in Connecticut who want us to play Adama and Donovan together. Our kid Donovan Klingen, who's a 7'2" freshman, and he's also a center, obviously. And we've pretty much, most of the time, we've played those guys. One comes in for the other one. Like Donovan will come in for Adama, and Adama will come in for Donovan. They split 40 minutes. And what it's been this year mostly has been about 27 for Adama and 13 for Donovan. But like Donovan's so impactful. People want us to play Adama at the 4 and play them together. That's the number one gripe of the UConn fan base. And you know how vocal they can get from living in this state. When they want something, they get it across. Now we have Twitter. It wasn't here when you and I were roaming Connecticut.
Different world, man. Totally different world. I know.
But Adam is he's a throwback. He's a low post annihilator. Like he'll post you deep. He'll steal you. He's got counters. He's a great deep. Low
do me a favor,
scorer.
Tom. Do me a favor. I want to hold you for a minute. I know you got to go to practice. I'm just going to hold you for a minute. I want to ask you one more thing on the other side. Don't move.
No problem.
We're coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't hold you long. I just want to ask you one more thing on the other side.
I got about 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. How the hell are you? How are things going?
I'm good.
And fortunate enough tonight to be joined on the program by UConn men's basketball assistant head coach Tom Moore. Works under Dan Hurley in that program that's now on its way to the Sweet 16, actually already there, playing against Arkansas tomorrow night in that Sweet 16 matchup in Las Vegas. And Tom Moore joins us on the show tonight, a former head coach himself at Quinnipiac University, a former assistant under Jim Calhoun, and now an assistant under Dan Hurley. We talked about Adama Sanogo. Give me some thoughts on Tristan Newton, who really does everything for this team. A little over 10 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4.7 assists. And when you talk about any great championship team, you're going to look at the guard position and guard play.
Yeah, he's been a rock for us this year. He's a transfer from East Carolina, Jay, where he was in a situation where he was in a league slightly less in the American Conference. They were more closer to the bottom of the league than they were at the top of the league, and he gets thrown into this cauldron called UConn basketball, where we get up to number 2 in the country, and every game's this huge game, and every game's a rock fight. And he's just done a great job for us. He's had 2 triple doubles this year, and he's sort of quiet. Like Sanogo and Hawkins get most of the headlines, and Andre Jackson's a real flashy, sort of spectacular athlete. But Tristan's been solid. He's been good. I think we had a stretch in mid-January to early February where we lost 6 out of 8, and no one was playing well. And he struggled through that period, seemed like everybody else on the team did. But he began the season well, and he's finishing the season really strong. And a ton of our ball handling responsibilities fall on his shoulders against pressure teams. And there'll be a similar thing tomorrow night. Arkansas really pressures the ball with a ton of athleticism and length, and he's got to handle a lot of responsibility with that, with initiating offense and getting us up the floor on offense. He's a really good transition passer when we're running the break. He sees things. The game doesn't speed up for him, so he's been great. He's been a sort of a low key sort of star for us this year.
Ricky Council, obviously, the junior at Arkansas is the guy you got to look out for. I'm sure it's one of the guys you target, loves to play downhill. How do you slow him down?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about being in gaps in our man-to-man defense. We do play some zone. We play a 2-3. We play a 1-3-1, but very, very rarely. But we're open-minded, and we're thinking of definitely doing some of that, but we've talked a lot about within our man, making sure we're in a help situation quite a bit because, he's a really strong driver, athletic, quick up on the first step. But there are other guys that are too as well. Nick Smith, the freshman's really good. The point guard Black is really good. Devo Davis is really good. We're talking about guys with real great size. NBA prospects, pretty much all of them are showing up on the mock drafts. Their whole perimeter arsenal is all on these mock drafts. So they're much better off the bounce than they are shooting from deep. So again, we'll try to be really smart with our man help defense, and we'll be in seams and in gaps. So hopefully we can get a hand on a ball, maybe pick up a charge, make them take shots outside the paint.
I know you're looking at the team in front of you, and that's obviously Arkansas. But is there somebody on the staff that is enlisted to look at the rest of the bracket and who you could potentially face, whether it's Gonzaga, UCLA, anybody else in that bracket? Or are you just so focused on Arkansas that nobody's even looking at these other teams right now?
No, that's a good question. Kamani Young has our scout for this game, and Luke Murray is going to take the next scout, Gonzaga or UCLA. So Luke has spent a ton of time watching those two teams and has everything ready for those two teams. By tomorrow night, if we win, fortunately, we'll be back at the hotel. We'll probably watch late night, probably watch 2 games of whoever wins, and then we'll spend all day Friday watching more games and getting them in the gym. We'll do probably a real light practice in terms of the demands physically on them, but it'll be a lot of mental stuff and a lot of scout stuff. We'll show film to them in the morning. We'll show film to them at night. Luke's all over Gonzaga and UCLA already.
Last one. Let me get you out on this. And I don't even know if you know this, but UConn has a chance to do something that I don't think has ever been done before in college basketball. And that is win 3 national championships in a span of, 12 or 13 years with 3 different head coaches. Nobody's ever done it.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Kentucky did it, but it was in a span of like 20 or 21 years. But this would be the shortest span with 3 coaches, 3 different national championships, if UConn can pull it off. That being said, what does it say about this program? We always talk about the North Carolinas, the Dukes, the blue bloods of college basketball. But what does it say about UConn in particular that despite head coaching changes, despite player turnover, here they are again in this position, a chance to win a national championship, 4 wins away, despite the turmoil that always takes place for most college basketball programs not named Duke or North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. You know what we like to say, Jay? We call ourselves, when we recruit kids, and we hope we appeal to kids through this sort of slogan, is we call ourselves a blue-collar blue blood. That toughness that I think Coach Calhoun ingrained in every kid who played here, and now Kevin, continued on, and now Dan certainly continuing on, is that more of, like we said, that gritty Northeast, like blue-collar, blue blood. And, it's funny, we have the most national championships since 99, so in the last 24 years, we've got 4, and, a couple schools have 3 and a couple schools have 2, but no one has as many since 99 as we have. So, we're proud of that, and to get a 5th would be incredible. And, the opportunities, as don't come every year. So we're close. I think the guys understand how close they are, but, it's just, you need to play really well 4 more times, and you need a bit of good fortune too 4 more times. And we're hoping we'll be able to get both.
Tom Moore, UConn men's basketball assistant head coach. I know you're heading into a film session. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate the time. All the best. Give my best to Coach Hurley as well. Be well.
Jason, great catching up again. Stay well, my friend.
Absolutely. Tom Moore joining us on the show tonight. Always love talking to him and getting his thoughts on UConn men's basketball. And he's a terrific coach. UConn is lucky. They've basically got 2 head coaches on their staff with Hurley and Tom Moore. And I was talking about it with Coach Moore during the break, and it really is amazing how it's all a game of inches. And we think about it as a game of inches for players. But Tom Moore was so close to breaking through with a brand new Division I men's basketball program at Quinnipiac, and so close to getting into the NCAA tournament with them. Then he had a couple of bad years under a new AD, and after 8 years, they let him go. But the guy is a really good head coach. And, depending on what happens here with UConn in this tournament, you may hear him getting hired as a Division I head coach again. But hoping the best for him. He's a great guy, and somebody I was lucky enough to befriend during my days in Connecticut doing sports radio there. So we're hoping the best for him. All right, if you have not gotten in yet, it is a cash-in text contest exclusive we are doing tonight on the show. If you're just tuning in, we are giving away a Shohei Ohtani 2018 Bowman rookie baseball card. This is Shohei Ohtani we're talking about. Rookie card. For those watching on the video stream of the show, there it is on the screen. You can see it. We are giving this away tonight. How do you get it? Very simple. First, you have to text the show. 888-670-8549. 888-670-8549. You text the show. Then you tell us your name, where you're calling from, or where you're listening to our show. And then you have to tell me your AL and or NL MVP pick for the Major League Baseball season. AL or NL MVP pick in honor of Ohtani, who, of course, has been an MVP and very well could have been an MVP last year, if not for Aaron Judge hitting 62 home runs, which we'll talk about a little later on in this show. There's a reason I want to talk about it. But at the end of the show, everybody who's entered will be put into a randomizer, and we will throw all the names into a randomizer, and somebody's going to win this Shohei Ohtani 2018 Bowman rookie baseball card. Simple as that. 888-670-8549 is the text line number. Text in with your name, where you're listening, AL or ML MVP pick. Brian McDonald is not eligible to win. He is our producer engineer working on the show. We're coming back with another hour of the cash-in. Glad to have you with us tonight. Scott Seidenberg in the next hour from pregame.com. Stay with us. Okay. Just let me know when you're back, please. Yeah. Okay. Another hour of the show starts right now on SportsMap Radio and the SportsMap Radio app. Thank you for being a part of it. Just looking at LeBron in sunglasses indoors. I thought I was the only person that wore sunglasses indoors. Lakers lead the Phoenix Suns 41-36. 6.5 minutes to go in the second quarter in Los Angeles. We'll keep you up to date on that game. Maybe we'll have a live bet for you as well. You'll have to stick around and find out. We lost our live bet last night. We're in a bit of a rut on the live betting right now. A nice little run, and now we're kind of meandering around 500 in our live bets. We're going to have to do a little better. Special show tonight. Special because it's giveaway night. Every week on the show, this is the third week in a row, we've done a giveaway for our listeners. And I literally go into my bag of prizes, my own bag of prizes, and I bust out something cool, and I decide to give it to you. Tonight, I am giving away a Shohei Ohtani rookie card, 2018 Bowman. There it is on the screen for those that might be watching on the video stream. And to win this card, it is a text-exclusive contest. So here's how we do it. You call up the text line at 888-670-8549, 888-670-8549. You put into the text line your name, where you're listening to us from, and your AL and or NL MVP pick for the upcoming Major League Baseball season. Simple as that. 888-670-8549. You give me your name, where you're listening to us, and your pick for AL or NL MVP in honor of the start of the baseball season that is right around the corner, and in honor of the fact that Shohei Ohtani was the World Baseball Classic MVP. And you have a chance to win this Shohei Ohtani baseball card, rookie card from 2018 Bowman. It's a pretty cool card. Send me that information. You will be put into the randomizer, and at the end of the show, I even videotape the randomizing so you can see that it's legit, that I'm not picking the winner. It's actually just an automated randomizer, puts in all the names, all the information, and then we'll pick a winner at the end of the show. So, to enter, 888-670-8549. That is the text line. That is not a call-in line. Do not call that number. Text that number with your pick. AL or NL MVP, your name, where you're listening to us. Simple as that. So that's what we got tonight here on the show. Oh, Brian's back. Hi, Brian. So that's how we're giving away the thing. UConn's going to win tomorrow, by the way. I'll give you a little bonus. I'll give you a little bonus pages pick. I think they win by about 7 or 8 tomorrow night. Yeah, I like UConn. Sunogo's just there ain't a team in the country that has an answer for that guy. And if he's playing at this level, they're going to be really hard to beat. I don't care if it's Gonzaga. I don't care if it's UCLA. If UConn has Sunogo playing this well, they are really tough to beat. And Tom Moore, their assistant coach who joined us in the first hour of the show tonight, referred to it. Their depth, not a lot of teams go this deep. And when other teams are gassed, 10 minutes to go in the second half, and you're just trying to figure out a way to put enough pieces together to get through a game, UConn's very fresh. Again, this was a team that was ranked second in the country early on in the year. And some of that success might have gone to their heads. Obviously not the coaches, but you're talking about the players. The one thing I wanted to ask Coach Moore about, their fine assistant coach, it has to be, of all the locations you could, and all the regions you could be in, coaches were saying, please don't put us in that bracket. We don't want to have our kids in Las Vegas. Because no matter how much you try to protect these guys, T-Mobile Arena is right in the middle of the Strip. And I'm sure their hotel is probably really close, if not on the Strip. And you've got to sit there every night white-knuckled if you're the coach, if you're the AD, if you're the assistant coaches. I'll guarantee you there's an assistant coach on that staff whose sole purpose it is to make sure that none of these guys get in trouble. And that's got to be the worst. You have to be the most unpopular assistant coach on the staff if you're that guy, to have to worry about these guys for every second. And they've been in there. They've been there since what, Monday? I think they've been in Vegas since Monday, because I think that's when I first reached out to Coach to get him on the show. And you just have to be dreading it that you got to go through an entire week. And yeah, you got practices and you got team meals and all, but you know these guys are going to get away. Like Sanogo's 21 years old. He's legal. He can do anything he wants there. And he's got a chance to do that. The interesting thing to see is whether Sanogo comes out after this year. What's he going to hear from the scouts? And he can do the draft combine and all that, and you can get in and get out. But that's the interesting thing. And the other interesting thing is, with NIL money being what it is, guys could choose to stay, guys could choose to go. It's like free agency now with transfer portals and all this stuff. I mean, it's the Wild West with not a lot of guidance, and the NCAA is trying to put in some guardrails on this stuff, but without a lot of guidance. Sanogo's a star in this tournament, and teams all around the country are going to see him. You think there aren't going to be boosters out there? They're trying to just throw crazy cash at Sanogo to go play his senior year somewhere else, where you can help another team potentially win a national championship. And we were talking about this. I don't know if we were talking about this on the show with you, Brian, or another person that was working on this show. It's like wheel of producer every night on this show. I got a different producer. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, no, probably not. But so I can't remember who I had this conversation with, but in this wild west of NIL that we live in, guys could just go to the highest bidder. It's simple as that. And does it keep guys from coming? It's sort of a double-edged sword. On one hand, could you say, well, that kind of money guaranteed for a guy that age and still being able to get better on the collegiate level before coming into the draft, especially when you're looking at this draft that everybody's just looking at Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, and everybody else. That is essentially the 2023 NBA draft in a nutshell. It's Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, and everybody else. Do you want to be in that draft? No, you want to be in the next draft. So maybe if you're Sanogo, you kind of hold on for another year, take the NIL money, get better as a player, try not to get hurt, obviously, and then see where you land next year, as far as the draft is concerned. Find out from the scouts, hey, what is it I need to work on to get better, to improve my draft status, and see what he can do. Because like I said, he kind of reminds me of Jeff Adrian, who played at UConn during my years when I was in Hartford, and the Hasheem Thabeet era. And I'm great at calling busts, man. I predicted Hasheem Thabeet was going to be a massive bust, and people at UConn went nuts. The message boards, oh my God, they would call UConn and try to get UConn to get me fired. And I wasn't even on a UConn sports radio affiliate. So I would just laugh at these clowns in Connecticut, these UConn fans that would say, oh, you can't host a show in Connecticut and say anything bad about UConn. And all I did was just jab them with, you wait, the beat's going to be a bust. And he was a bust every bit of the way. Oh, my God. I think he was the number 2 overall pick. He was in the league for 5 minutes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep. And see, even though I lived in Connecticut and grew up in Connecticut, I didn't go to UConn. So while I like to see them succeed, obviously, as somebody who was hosting a show in the state, at the same, I was doing afternoon drive. We had great ratings. Everything was great. But at the same time, I don't have an emotional interest I don't have that bias that a lot of other people have. It's why working for flagships, or if you're the only game in town, like our station was in Hartford, we were the only game in town when it came to sports radio in Connecticut. So everybody who wanted anything Hartford, Boston, New York related came to us. We were the only local show. We were afternoon drive for 4 hours every day. And that means you're going to have people that love you and you're going to have people that hate you. But it's why I don't think I'd want to work for a flagship again, because you just can't be honest. You can't say what you really think about a team. Like I have friends who have worked for the flagship for the Warriors. I worked for the flagship of the Golden State Warriors. I made a negative. I one time said that Steph Curry wasn't one of the top 5 guards of all time, and I literally got dragged into some 12-year-old assistant program director's office. Literally, the guy was like 12. I've forgotten more about radio than this kid. And I get pulled into his office because they had just fired the program director and they didn't have one. And this 12-year-old goes on to tell me, you can't say anything bad about the work. I've had people calling my office all day. Like, dude, grow a set. Seriously. Oh, God, you're on the flagship of the Warriors. Can't say anything bad about Steph Curry. Ugh. We're coming back. Live betting. Oh, God. It's the worst. Oh, yeah, nah, it's the worst. As bad as I would kill to still be on the air in San Francisco, being on that team's flagship station is as brutal as it gets. Because their fans are marshmallowy soft. Like, I mean, oh my, no, but I mean, it's not even that. Well, no, I mean, San Francisco is. They had the Giants and all that stuff. Well, no, the Warriors, they are now. I mean, that was it. That was just it. They were spoiled. So, everything was sunshine and roses. But the fan base is all wine and cheese. Like, they're very soft. You say anything bad about, like, there's still people out there that used to call me and say, Barry Bonds didn't cheat. Barry Bonds didn't use performance-enhancing drugs. And you're just like, dude, shut up. Get off the radio. Nope. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. All right, coming up in 15 minutes, Scott Seidenberg, the host of Straight Out of Vegas AM. It's your daily podcast on all things sports betting. We got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about with him. I got to find out why Princeton is not, that you still cannot bet on Princeton on FanDuel's website. Like, you can bet on any team, any game in the Sweet 16, except Princeton. And I think that is absolutely disgusting for a sports book to do. To basically say, you know what? We don't want to lose our shirts on an underdog. So we're not going to let you, we're just going to shut it down. We're just not going to let you bet on one of the big underdogs. Like, that's crazy. It's nuts to me that could be allowed. That you could just basically say, our book, our rules. I'm going to let you do it. Tonight is giveaway night. I will keep reminding you between now. You got about another hour and a half to get your entry in by text. 888-670-8549. The cash in exclusive text line is open. 888-670-8549. All you got to do is send us your name, where you're listening to us, and most importantly, your AL or NL MVP pick, or both. You can get us AL and or NL MVP pick for the upcoming season. You do that, you're entered to win. We'll draw the winner at the end of the show. You're getting a Shohei Ohtani 2018 Bowman rookie baseball card. If you know anything about Shohei Ohtani, you know he might wind up being one of the greatest players to ever play the game, and you could have his rookie card. Simple as that. All right, let's go through some of the entries tonight. Trey in Clemson, South Carolina, listening to us there. Thank you, Trey. He says Ohtani in the AL, Acuna in the National League. Interesting. Bob listening to us in Neenah, Wisconsin. We love you up there, Neenah. Says Ohtani for AL MVP, Acuna for NL MVP. Wow, 2 for Acuna and Ohtani. And they don't even live near each other. Austin texting the show from Greenville, South Carolina, says Jazz Chisholm for his for his NL MVP. I like it. It's pretty cool. Robbie in Greenville, South Carolina, says Acuna for NL MVP. Jeffrey from Marinette, Wisconsin. Marinette, hello. Says Jeffrey Christian Yelich as MVP. Extremely wishful thinking. LOL. I like it. It's creativity. Paul texting the show from Appleton, Wisconsin. I was going to make a Perfect Strangers joke in a reference. Anybody remember Larry Appleton was on the show Perfect Strangers? He was the character. No? With Balky Bart. You don't remember the show Perfect Strangers on ABC when you were a kid? Yeah. Larry Appleton was the name of the main character, and Balky Bartokomous was his friend, and they were roommates, and they were called Perfect Strangers. I know. Why? Why is that what comes to my mind? I don't know. Paul texting the show from Appleton, Wisconsin says Trey Turner as his MVP. Phil in Honolulu, hello, says Mookie Betts as the NL MVP. Jamie texting also from Hawaii says his AL MVP is Shohei Ohtani. They're on an I think it's probably a great place to live, but it's not for me. Like, literally nothing but water surrounding you. That's just terrifying to me. Like, what if Godzilla comes out of the water? Like, you're screwed. I'm just saying, man. It's scary. Or if a volcano erupts or something. I don't know. Love you in Hawaii. I've never been, and as somebody who's lived on the West Coast as long as I've lived on the West Coast, that's a damn shame. Mike in Mililani, Hawaii. NL MVP, Ronald Acuna Jr. Michael in Appleton, Wisconsin says his MVP pick is the New York Yankees. Come on, go ahead. He then, I think, yeah, sure, why not? Another Mike in Appleton, Wisconsin says Nolan Arenado. It's not a bad pick. I could go wrong with that. You got an MVP pick, Brian? Yeah, I think it's amazing that not a single person picked Aaron Judge. Like, that's nuts to me. And first of all, what are the odds that Ohtani... Goldilocks, are you crazy? My God, the guy gets more bad strike calls called against him than anybody in baseball. No, I know. What? Well, they aren't playing with different baseballs. They're just scanned so that, you can follow for history. It's not a different ball. It's a little, it might not be as, it's obviously not as used. Yeah. Why are you trying to take a dump on my man Aaron Judge? That's what I want to know. Why? Do you want me to start firing shots at Jose Altuve, who's going to be out for the next 3 months? Huh? Do you want me to start taking shots? Cheaters justice. Do you really want me to start doing that? Well, first of all, Altuve will never have anything over Aaron Judge, considering he's about a foot shorter than the guy. There will never be an over for Altuve against Aaron Judge. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. See, now, Michael in Appleton, Wisconsin, listening to the show. See, and this is smart because he's listening intently. He said Arenado, and then he just sent an addendum to that initial text. Aaron Judge is his pick. He is trying to curry favor, and you know what? I like curry. I'm all about it, man. I love curry. You can pour on the curry all you want, baby. Love me some curry. So we'll see what happens. I mean, Judge literally had one of the greatest seasons in the modern era of baseball. I mean, when you look at it from literally every perspective, had one of the best seasons in the modern era. And there are still people like Doug Gottlieb, of course, because people can become prisoner to the moment. They watch Ohtani strike out Mike Trout and make him look silly. Because Trout, I want to see Mike Trout in the postseason. Yeah, 2 biggest spots in the game last night. He went, oh my God. And again, if you talk about literally, nope. Yep. I gotta see Mike Trout in the postseason. What a shame for baseball. Mike Trout's not in the postseason. Best thing Ohtani could do is get out of that situation. Well, I think everybody right now looking at the American League West with the Altuve injury probably feels like they at least got a little more of a chance now. I think that may bolster. Yeah, and that you know what? That's good for a lot of these teams. But Aaron Judge is now on the board at least. Thank you, Michael, in Appleton, Wisconsin. If I had a way to weight your entry into the contest, I would. But I can't because it's all random. So I don't have the ability to do that. But thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Text the show if you want to get your entry in. 888-670-8549. 888-670-8549. Send us your name, where you're listening to us, and your AL and or NL MVP pick for the upcoming baseball season. We will draw a winner at the end of the show. For those that send me that information, a chance to win a Shohei Ohtani rookie baseball card from 2018. and I'm showing it on the video feed of the show, so you know it's legit. And we'll send that out to you here before the end of the week. We've already given away an autographed football on the show a couple of weeks ago. We gave away a pizza gift card last week for Pi Day. This week, a Shohei Ohtani rookie baseball card. Who knows what we'll give away next week? Going to have to be tuning in to find out. Again, the text line, 888-670-8549. Let's focus on the sports betting world with Scott Seidenberg. Pregame.com. He hosts the daily podcast straight out of Vegas. He joins us next. I don't remember. I might have heard it and just don't recall. Mavericks are filing a protest. Mavericks are filing a protest with the league. No. Something happened during the game tonight where the officials made an errant call and it cost them 2 points, and they wound up losing the game by 2. But this was like a process thing that the officials got wrong. Like it was something that is, it's a little different. I kind of get it. You know, it's kind of like baseball with protests that never get upheld. Good to have you with us tonight on SportsMap Radio and the SportsMap Radio app. Tom Moore joined us in the first hour. If you missed our conversation with the UConn assistant head coach of the men's basketball program, make sure to check out the podcast edition of the Cash In, which is available each night after the show ends. So go and check that out. Again, a reminder tonight, we are doing a text contest giveaway on the show. Only way you can enter is to text the show. The text line number, 888-670-8549. Scott Seidenberg, who's our guest coming up here in just a moment, he might even want to start texting in for this one. 888-670-8549. You text us your name, where you're listening to us, and your AL and or NL MVP pick. At the end of the show tonight, we'll put all the names in a randomizer. And what are we giving away? This. It's a Shohei Ohtani rookie card. 2018 Shohei Ohtani Bowman rookie card that we're giving away. How you like them apples, Scott Seidenberg of pregame.com, the Straight Outta Vegas AM podcast.
Now, is that card graded?
No, it is not graded. It is not graded. Okay. It is not graded. People can go and get it graded themselves.
Do we have a worth on the graded version of it?
It's about $100.
Okay.
It's about $100 on the graded. Yeah.
It'll rise.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, Jesus. I was trying to choose. I was either going to give away this tonight in honor of Ohtani and the World Baseball Classic, or I was going to give away an autographed Patrick Ewing basketball that I have.
In honor of no longer coaching Georgetown.
Yes, that's exactly right. But college basketball and all that. So I was giving away one of the two. I decided to go with Ohtani. So there it is. Folks can get that tonight. All you have to do is text the show, name where you're listening to us, and your AL and or NL MVP pick. You do that, you're entered to win. We'll draw the winner at the end of the show tonight. We'll get into some baseball stuff with Scott here in our time with him on the show tonight. I got a whole bunch of stuff that I got to get to with you. And I need an answer to this first and foremost, because for 2 nights I've been stewing in this and screaming about it on the air. And maybe you have an explanation. I don't know if this is the case with all the major sports books, Scott, but FanDuel has no betting available for Princeton. Now, is this just a case of a book being scared of taking a big loss with a 15 seed, or is there some other reason that is unknown to me?
You cannot bet on New Jersey schools. It's obviously, it would depend what state you're in and what book you are operating in. Like here in Las Vegas, I can get odds on Princeton at a local book here in Las Vegas. But any of the operators that operate in a state in which sports betting is legalized, with like New Jersey, like the FanDuels, the DraftKings that are legalized in New Jersey, you cannot bet on New Jersey colleges.
But if you're in it, but what if you're in a FanDuel state that's not New Jersey?
Because FanDuel operates in New Jersey.
They can't change the book for the state based on the state? That's crazy.
So they usually do. Like, they usually have odds. Like when you log in, it'll ask you where you're logging in from.
Yeah.
But it has something to do with the laws. When New Jersey passed the sports betting laws, you cannot wager on New Jersey colleges. And I think that as long as it's the book that's partnered within the state, you cannot do it. It's part of It's part of New Jersey state gambling, regulation.
And most states, and I know that most states do that. I just figured, for if you're not in New Jersey, they would still let you put a wager on it. All right. With all that being said, are you buying or selling Princeton?
It's interesting because Cinderellas are fun to root for. We saw it last year with another New Jersey school in St. Peter's making the Elite Eight run. Creighton is a team, though, that, like, I wish they were going up against anybody else. Let's just say that. Like, I wish if Princeton was playing San Diego State, I'd feel maybe a little more confident in them pulling the upset. I think Creighton's just too good. I think Creighton might be one of the dark horses to win this whole thing.
Wow.
And this is a guy. And listen, I have a bet on Alabama to win the region, so I'm hoping that Creighton loses. But I between Nemhard and Cockbringer, and they have so much scoring. I think they became the first team to have 2 separate 30-point scorers in the NCAA tournament, like in both of their games. So, Nemhard had 30 in the first ring, Cockbringer had 30 in the second game, and I don't think that's ever happened where two players scoring 30 points in subsequent games in the NCAA tournament for a single school.
Wow, that's crazy. What do you think of UConn? I know a lot of people feels like a lot of people are on UConn right now. I just had their assistant head men's basketball coach on in the first hour of the show, Tom Moore. UConn minus 4.5 against Arkansas. How do you feel?
UConn is the darlings of the analytics community. If you look up on Ken Palm or Bart Torvik, they love UConn. UConn is extremely, very highly rated on those sites. And I don't know why. Like, I get it. They're a good program and they do things well. But Arkansas potentially has 5 NBA players on their team. Like, when you look at the players that they will roll out onto the floor, you can see all 5 of those starters playing at the next level. And I think that when it comes down to the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 and certainly the Final Four of the NCAA tournament, talent wins out. And as great of a team as UConn has been and as great as they have played all season, I think the players for Arkansas is what makes the difference in this game. I like Arkansas plus the points.
Wow. Do you think they win on the floor?
I think Arkansas can win the game. I think they're alive, absolutely.
Wow. Interesting. Give me one or two other teams that you really like, your biggest favorites in the Sweet 16.
I like Gonzaga, even though they're catching 1.5 points. I think that the injuries for UCLA are going to be too much. The thing with UCLA that gives them maybe a point of an advantage over Gonzaga is that they just played the Pac-12 tournament at T-Mobile Arena. So they're familiar with the sight lines, they're familiar with the shooting, with the rims, and Gonzaga is going to come in and have to learn it for the first time, right? Even though they played in this arena, what was it, last year against Duke, maybe Gonzaga played, but still, recency goes into the favor of UCLA. Plus, UCLA has one of the top defenses in the country, but Gonzaga has the number 1 offense in the country. I just think that if you gave me 2 points on either team, I was going to take it in this game. That's how I feel about that game. And I'll tell you what, with all due respect for how well that Kansas State has played in this tournament, there's something about Tom Izzo in March.
I said the same thing. Yeah,
I just can't ignore it. He's 57% ATS in his career in the NCAA tournament, and it's not even close to his best squad. And maybe they get blown out in the Elite 8. But honestly, and which would be crazy because it would be like against Florida Atlantic or Tennessee, and Tennessee playing without one of their best players. But I think Izzo is the difference in this game. Jerome Tang has done a tremendous job, but he's a first-year head coach. I got to go with Izzo at Michigan State.
I'm talking with Scott Seidenberg, straight out of Vegas, AM edition. You can catch the podcast. Is that every morning?
Monday through Friday morning.
Yeah, I thought it was 5 days a week. I had said that earlier in the show. I wanted to make sure I was right. Scott does a terrific job with them. Pregame.com. Check out the podcast every day. Scott, switch gears to the NBA here for a second. MVP betting has done a total 180 away from Nikola Jokic at plus 300 and in favor of Joel Embiid, who's now at minus 165, at least as far as FanDuel is concerned. Always do your price shopping, as Scott likes to remind us. Giannis is at plus 350 as well. Still time for that to turn again, or is Embiid going to get his first MVP? Is this thing sort of solidifying?
I don't see any way Embiid does not get it. First off, there's voter fatigue. And I've always said going into this year, which is why Jokic was actually the 10th favorite going into this year. He had such bad odds going into the season because of voter fatigue. And the idea was he would have to be head and shoulders above everybody else for them to award him a third consecutive MVP. But if it was close between him and another player, which it is right now between him and Embiid, then Embiid would finally get over the hump and win the award. Now, I will say this. We had a very long conversation on this morning's episode of Straight Out of Vegas AM with RJ Bell. And we talked about the idea that in the wake of the J.J. Redick-Kendrick Perkins conversation that occurred on March 7th, which alluded to some racism in the MVP voting, the odds shifted 2 days later. and it hasn't gone back since. Now, I'm not saying that voters are all of a sudden changing their votes because they don't want to be called racist. I'm just saying that the conversation has been brought to the forefront. And I think voters now, in the wake of that conversation, are looking and evaluating this race closer than ever, as opposed to just taking a step back and saying, well, you know what, Jokic has the best efficiency rating. Let's just name him the MVP again. I think they're taking a closer look and they're seeing that Embiid deserves this award.
Scott, let me hold you for 1 minute because I got to ask you like two more questions on the other side. Scott Seidenberg with pregame.com. Straight out of Vegas AM is the podcast. You can catch it weekday mornings. Scott will join us on the other side. I got to ask him a couple more. Stay tuned. All right, I got to pull you down. Hold on. Don't say anything. Rolling along with Scott Seidenberg, the host of Straight Outta Vegas AM. You can catch the daily podcast each and every morning on wherever you get your podcasts with pregame.com. Giving us some time on the show tonight. So we did the MVP betting. NBA championship outright betting. Right now you got Milwaukee at plus 280, the Celtics at plus 320, the Suns are plus 700. And you know what the funniest thing is? I think the last time I talked to you was right on the eve of the NBA trade deadline. And I said, "Oh, do you got somebody you like as a good value bet?" And you're like, "Well, if you believe the Suns are going to get Durant," and I literally shut you up. And I was like, "No, they're not going to get." Literally, like the night before, I'm like, "No, they're not going to get Durant. You can't do that." And then literally the next night they get Durant, and I'm just like, "Are you kidding me?" Like I feel like such an idiot because people may have listened to me and didn't go put the money on them, and now they're plus 700 when you could have got them at like plus 3,000 at one point. Is there still a value that you see out there? Something in the 4-digit range. I know Golden State at 1,200. I liked the Clippers for a little while, but then George gets hurt last night. Is there something? I still can't believe that the team with the second best record in the West, and I know it's the Kings, and everybody says they can't play defense. I still can't believe you can get them at plus 6,500. Like that's nuts to me.
No, to me, the value's on the New York Knicks. I'm kidding. It's not. Don't listen to me.
Come on. Don't do that to me.
It's the Dallas Mavericks. At 25-1, you can get out there for the Mavericks because when healthy, Luka and Kyrie can play with anybody in the league. And this is a team that had a deep postseason run last year and came up short. And this year, with health, again, health matters, but with Kyrie on the floor and Luka on the floor together, can compete with anybody in the NBA. So when healthy, the Mavericks at 25-1 present the best opportunity.
Yeah, they're plus 3,300 on FanDuel right now. So it's even it's an even bigger number. But the Knicks at 8,000? No, come on, man. $10 to win 800?
I mean, I'll take your $10 if you want.
Take your $10. I'll kick you in the nuts and we'll call it a day. Yeah. No, not giving me anything there.
Nope.
Not the Warriors at plus 1,200 if they get back Wiggins?
Sure. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with that person. So
nobody does.
It's one of the most bizarre stories in the NBA, and certainly do not bet on the Clippers because they cannot stay healthy. It's just one bad break after another.
All right, go over to baseball here. World Series, Astros plus 600, Braves plus 750, Dodgers plus 750, the Yankees plus 850, again on FanDuel's numbers. Is there somebody in the 4-digit range that you like for baseball as it pertains to the World Series?
Phillies, 17-1. Team went to the World Series last year and got better this year. Yes, Bryce Harper will miss probably the whole first half of the season, but when he comes back, this is a lineup that will feature Harper, Schwarber, Real Muto, and Trey Turner, my pick for National League MVP. This is a stacked lineup. And because of the more evened out schedule this year, you don't play your division opponent as much as you used to. So it's probably 2 or 3 less games that they're going to have to play against the likes of Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander of the Mets. I think the Phillies are primed to make another postseason run. They have the experience. They have the taste of it from last year. Bryson Stott now has a year under his belt, the rookie last year. And I think they're ready to make another deep postseason run like last season.
Can you tell me why, coming off one of the greatest regular seasons that we've seen in the modern era of baseball, why it is that still Aaron Judge is like way down on the, I mean, I shouldn't say way down, but he's plus 700 where Ohtani's at plus 220. And what are the odds of Ohtani being that good hitting and that good pitching again? I just feel like Judge gets no love. And by the way, Mike Trout at plus 800 is a joke when the guy can't even stay healthy.
Yeah. See, the thing with Aaron Judge is if he doesn't hit 62 home runs, he's not the MVP last year. And we know that. The reality is Shohei Ohtani is the most valuable player every single year, but you can't just give the guy the award every single year. But in terms of the most valuable player, he's the most valuable baseball player in the world. It's not even, there's no contest, right? No one does what he does. No one pitches and hits. So he's the most valuable player. And if he's going to hit at a top 5 or top 10 rate and pitch at a top 5 and top 10 rate, in all of the stats in Major League Baseball, then yeah, he deserves to be the MVP.
There's no value in him, though. I mean, there's no value in that bet.
No, there's no value in that bet. You don't bet the favorites. I would look at, honestly, I think Jordan Alvarez is the guy to bet. Alvarez is the
Plus
guy
1,200.
that, had he not gotten hurt at the latter part of last year, might have had a chance to be the MVP. He put up incredible numbers last year, and he is, and I'll tell you this is the reason why I actually think the Astros can win it again. Jordan Alvarez and Kyle Tucker are two of the top 10 batters in Major League Baseball that had the most outs hit into the shift last year. Now that we take away the shift, you have to give Kyle Tucker and Jordan Alvarez, I'm not going to say that of the 70, 80 plus outs they hit into, they're all going to be hits, but if we give them 20 more hits each, look at the numbers that Tucker and Alvarez even put up last year. Now, if we give them 25 more hits each, it's just going to be that much more dangerous. Now, they don't have Altuve for a couple of weeks, thanks to Bard not being able to control the strike zone. But I think the Astros are dangerous. I think Jordan Alvarez is a great MVP candidate in the American League.
Wow. A lot of people on our text tonight have said Ronald Acuna Jr. for an MVP pick. Who do you like in the National League?
Trey Turner. I said it before. Trey Turner on the Phillies in that ballpark will be an absolute monster. He was the best player for the United States during the World Baseball Classic and will carry that momentum into the regular season. Great
stuff. Scott Seidenberg. By the way, where do you got Lamar Jackson going? Do you have odds on that?
Oh, boy. It's not going to be in Baltimore. I can tell you that much. He does not want to play for them.
No, he certainly doesn't. I just know I've seen the odds. I saw the odds come across my thing today. And some websites have it, some don't. But the Ravens are interestingly, the Ravens still have the best odds at plus 225.
Because they have him.
Right. No, I get it. But the Titans have now the big one. The big jump is the Titans at plus 400.
What I don't understand is. What I always thought it was the Falcons from the get-go.
So did I.
And I don't understand how the Falcons just come out and say, no, we're not interested. He's a perfect fit for Atlanta.
I know. I thought the same thing, which is, and if some people are going to cry collusion, that's the one argument they have is that Atlanta bowed out so quickly in this. I don't know. I especially in a division that's that winnable. I don't know. It's strange to me. Scott,
maybe the Jets swing and miss on Aaron Rodgers and bring in Lamar.
Yeah, I wouldn't listen. At some point, they gotta fish or cut bait when it comes to dealing with Green Bay.
Good signing today with McCole Hardman.
Yeah.
Now the wide receiving core: Allen Lazard, McCole Hardman, Garrett Wilson, and possibly Odell Beckham Jr. Woo, the Jets, baby.
Scott Seidenberg, pregame.com. He hosts the podcast Straight Out of Vegas, AM edition. Catch it tomorrow morning wherever you get your podcasts. He is a good listen. I can promise you that. He has my full and complete endorsement. Scott, let's talk. Let's make sure we catch up off the air. I got a lot to talk to you about. Thank you.
All right, bud.
Love him. Scott Seidenberg does a great job on the show, as always. Listen, the whole thing with the whole interesting thing with Lamar Jackson, there's these glamour teams that jump up on a whim because some news is broken, right? Some news comes out and everybody's, oh my God, Lamar Jackson is that Lamar Jackson now is the going to the Titans is the big thing. That's the en vogue thing. And this thing's going to go through a bunch of iterations before, it's finally decided whether he stays in Baltimore, goes back to, goes to another team, whatever it may be. Interestingly, after the Ravens and Titans, who has the next best odds? If I gave you a chance to guess on it, Brian McDonald, producer, engineer extraordinaire. After the Ravens at plus 225 and the Titans at plus 400, who do you think is the next best odds? Nope. Colts are 2. Nope. Falcons are plus 1,500. Colts are plus 1,000. Nope, not Tampa Bay. The Patriots plus 500. No, it really doesn't. Then the Vikings at plus 550. I wonder how Kirk Cousins feels when he sees that. You still got time if you want to text. You got about 45 minutes more. 888-670-8549. Your name, where you're listening, and your AL or NL MVP pick. Tonight, somebody's going to win a Shohei Ohtani rookie card. We're coming back. Final hour. Yeah, I heard you. Yankees have the fourth best World Series odds. The Yankees are fourth best. Houston is plus, yep. Houston plus 600, Atlanta plus 750, Dodgers plus 750, Yankees plus 850, Mets plus 900, Padres plus 1,000. Yeah, you know what? I'd probably agree with that. Blue Jays plus 1,200, Phillies plus 1,500. Yeah. Yeah. Then it just doesn't count. Wake up call. So you probably overheard what I was talking about with him, but a lot of of a Wednesday/Thursday edition of the show. Good to have you with us tonight. SportsMap Radio, the SportsMap Radio app. Oh, come on, Dave in Connecticut. Quitting's for losers. We haven't given a live bet out tonight, but we may change that in the coming hour of the show. Third quarter, Lakers lead the Phoenix Suns 86-79. Lakers trying to get into that play-in tournament. Who knows? Maybe even something more than that. 88-79 now. Lakers on top of the Suns. Lakers minus 4.5 is the live bet number. Minus 310. I'm going to give you a live bet right now. Under 233.5. Bang it. Right now. Do it. Under 233.5. That is our live bet. Come on. Got to do it. Under 233.5 is our live bet on the Lakers and the Suns. Let's lock it in. That is an official cash-in live bet. 233.5. As they approach the late stages of the third quarter in that game. 88-84 Lakers now on top of Phoenix. And we'll keep you up to date on what's going on there. Our live bet in now 233.5. Lakers minus 3.5 again on the live spread. Now minus 215 on the money line as the Suns have just picked up a whole bunch of points here in the last few seconds of the quarter. So we'll keep you posted. Been a great show so far if you missed it. Scott Seidenberg joined us in the last hour from pregame.com. Does a terrific job on all things sports betting. We will also be joined in this hour. Our 2-for-1 tonight is UConn men's assistant head basketball coach. That's his actual title. Assistant head basketball coach. Tom Moore will be our guest to preview the Huskies matchup against the Arkansas Razorbacks. So we'll be joined by Tom Moore a little later on in this hour. You can hear from him about sort of the differences with this UConn team and other UConn teams that he has been a part of, because he was an assistant coach under Jim Calhoun during the Huskies championship years. Then he went and became a head coach on his own at Division I Quinnipiac University. And now he is back as an assistant at UConn under Dan Hurley. So he does a great job, and you'll definitely get a lot out of his insights into this UConn matchup with Arkansas. So Tom Moore will join us coming up in about 27 minutes. I have a contest I'm running tonight. You want to get in it? All you got to do is text the show right now. We're going to draw the winner in the final segment of the show. And here's how you enter to win. 888-670-8549. That is the exclusive text line for the cash-in here on SportsMap Radio. It's our own text line. 888-670-8549. You text us at that number with your name, where you're listening, and very simply, who do you think is going to win the AL or NL MVP for the upcoming baseball season? You don't even have to be right. All you got to do is send us your pick for AL or NL MVP. You could send both if you want. Your name and where you're listening to us, and you will be entered to win a 2018 Bowman rookie card of Shohei Ohtani. I mean, how cool is that? Just for texting the show, just for being a part of the program in your own special way. So we'll have that coming up for you here in just a few minutes. And we've got some more entries into the text line. Tommy in Gilbert, Arizona is entering. Tommy, you got to send your pick for AL or NL MVP. Tommy in Gilbert, Arizona, you have to send us your pick for AL or NL MVP. And again, if you guys want to enter, you still got some time. 888-670-8549. 888-670-8549. Text the show with your pick for AL or NL MVP. We're going to randomize it at the end of the show. All the names will be jumbled up, thrown into a randomizer, and it'll spit out a winner. And if that's you, you're getting a Shohei Ohtani 2018 Bowman rookie card, courtesy of the Cash In with Jason Page. Again, you got about 40 minutes to get your text to us if you want to be entered to win that contest. It's free. It's free to enter. I mean, it doesn't get any cooler than that. So we'll see exactly what happens there. The phone number, if you want to call in, 800-224-2004, 800-224-2004. But to enter the contest, you have to text us, 888-670-8549. I never understand. I can understand when fans become prisoner to the moment. I get it. Fans by their nature can be short-sighted. They can use, the hindsight is 2020, that sort of thing. Oh, that was a bad decision after the fact. And you know what? That's fine. Fans don't invest tons of time the way that people who do this for a living do. You watch a lot of games and things like that. I literally have to live, eat, and breathe this stuff 24/7. And that's hard to do when you're married. It's a labor of love. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. But it's a lot of work. Nights when you want to watch a movie and instead you have to watch a sporting event instead of going to the movies or something like that, or going out to dinner with friends. There's nights where I'd like to just go out to dinner with friends, and instead I'm like, nah, sorry, I gotta stay home. You go out. I'll see y'all later. I'll catch you late night. So for fans, I get it. If a fan wants to turn around after watching the World Baseball Classic and say, oh, Shohei Ohtani should have been the MVP last year. All right, fine, whatever. Even though everybody knows in their right mind, the Angels would have sucked with Shohei Ohtani and they would have sucked without Shohei Ohtani. The team just sucked. So how is that guy the MVP despite whatever he does statistically? Because statistically he was great and they still stunk, which means they would have been just as stinky, if not even stinkier, but they still would have been a sucky team. And meanwhile, if Aaron Judge didn't do what he did for the Yankees last year, that team isn't even sniffing the postseason, much less winning a series before faltering against the... I got to say it. Do I have to say it? I guess I got to say it. Come on, the Houston Astros. Ugh! It just, when you vomit in your mouth in the middle of the night and you wake up with it? That's what that feels like when I say the Houston Astros. Ugh, stop. It's like acid in my throat. It really is. It's just it's just gross. I hate it. But that's the reality. So I hear Doug Gottlieb on the radio. I just happened to turn on Doug Gottlieb's show today. That was absolutely my first mistake. And he's waxing poetic about Shohei Ohtani, which you should. He's he's a phenom. He's a once in a generation, once in a lifetime baseball player. Right? I mean, I won't disagree with that. But now he wants to revisit the MVP race. How did Aaron Judge get the MVP last year? How could anybody look at the statistics and give it to Aaron Judge? Well, I mean, it's not just statistics. It's the statistics in concert with where your team is in the standings. And obviously your value to that team because of where they are in the standings. And when you do it and put it all together, there's no question that Aaron Judge was the MVP last year. No question. Most outstanding player. And I got news for you. And a lot of people aren't going to like this and think this is, Jason being a Yankees homer or something like that because I'm from New York. I am not. But, a lot of people say that when I say this. He may have a bigger year this year than he had last year. Like the outlawing of the shit, he could very well hit 62 or more. I think that is possible. I think he could very well hit for a higher average. He might even, and frankly, he might even steal more. He might even steal a few more bases because of the rule changes on that too. Don't be surprised. No, I know you're not. I would agree with that, but I'm telling you, don't be shocked if he puts up numbers that are at least comparable to what he put up last year. Everybody just thinks there's going to be this big drop off for Aaron Judge. The guy's a beast. He was working in this offseason on how to get better, talking to guys about how to hit for better average, talking to some of the premier hitters in the game. You imagine Aaron Judge calls you, says, "How do I get better?" We're coming back. Can't go wrong with a little David Lee Roth, a little DLR Van Halen. It's good stuff. Good to have you with us tonight. Coming up in 15 minutes, Tom Moore, the assistant head basketball coach at the University of Connecticut, with UConn and Arkansas going at it tomorrow in the Sweet 16 in Las Vegas. We'll get some thoughts with him on this UConn team, comparing it to past UConn teams that have been in this position. Talk a bit about Mata Sanogo, who's just out of this world good. So we'll get into it with him on UConn and preview this matchup against Arkansas. That's coming up in about 15 minutes here on the show. He is our 2-for-1 tonight. Thank you to Scott Seidenberg, who joined us last hour from pregame.com. Does a great job with that outfit. Straight Out of Vegas AM is his podcast. You can catch it every morning, Monday through Friday. If you have not done so yet, you have an opportunity still to enter. You got about 30 minutes to enter for your chance to win a Shohei Ohtani rookie card, Bowman 2018 rookie card of Shohei Ohtani. Here's how you get it. Text the show, 888-670-8549. 888-670-8549. Name, where you're listening to us, and your AL and or NL MVP pick. You do that, you're entered to win. That's it. No, you don't have to pay anything. You got to sign up for anything. All you got to do is send us your name, where you're listening to us, and your AL and or NL MVP pick. We've got a few more entries that have come in. David in Austin, Texas. We love you out there in Austin. Says Altuve for MVP. It's going to be hard when you miss a couple of months. Let's see here. Somebody else said Corey Seager. They didn't put their name on it, though. That's going to be tough. Rusty in Weatherford, Texas says DeGrom. Wow. Going with Jacob DeGrom. I love it. Yeah, right? He won the MVP. No, it is kind of interesting that nobody's mentioned Paul Goldschmidt. Problem is him and Arenado sort of take away from each other too. So last year it didn't, yeah, but the odds of that 2 years in a row, it's going to be kind of tough. By the way, do you have any interest in this Donkey Kong movie or the Mario Brothers movie? See it for free? Jesus. You're the worst. Yeah. We have a live bet in progress. I don't know. You may not have caught this. Brian McDonald. Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know. 233.5 is our bet. We're looking all right now. 7:17 to go in the fourth. 101.98. Well, maybe we're not all right. We're 230. We put it in at 233.5, and it's now jumped to 235.5. So maybe we're not doing all right. And now the total is at 200 total, with 7:17 to go in the fourth. So we're gonna need some help. Yeah, we're gonna need a little lady luck on our side, but still a lot of time in this game. So we'll see how it plays out. Lakers lead 102-98. Big game for them in the West. With, again, you keep waiting for this log jam to break up, and if you do, you're probably going to be very disappointed because I don't think it's going to. It's really just three. I mean, it's really the Nuggets, Grizzlies, and Kings, because even Phoenix is only 38-33. Right. Yeah, I mean, that's about it. And then from the Clippers at 38 and 35 down to the Pelicans, who are 35 and 37. And the Pelicans are 12th in the West. I mean, it's nuts. And the Lakers, by the way, are tied with the Jazz and basically tied on the loss side with the tiebreakers are just going to be dizzying with this stuff. The tiebreakers it's going to be maddening trying to figure out all the tiebreakers in this. Yeah. Yes. Well, forget Phoenix because that's 33. But I start at 5 with the Clippers. Yeah. 4 to 12 is 3.5 games. I mean, even if Portland, who's got 10 games left, if they got on like a run and won 9 of 10, they'd probably wind up in the postseason. No. Yeah, that's it. Those are the only. That's it. Everybody else is live, and like really live. But if the Lakers win tonight, they will be back inside the bubble. But man, it's gonna be a wild. It's gonna be a wild final 10 games to the finish line of the season, and it doesn't sound like LeBron's any closer to getting back. Timberwolves just got back Karl Anthony Towns tonight. And let's see here. How'd they do? How'd they wind up tonight with the big Cat back? Minnesota tonight was stay here. They won. They beat Atlanta 125-124. So Karl Anthony Towns gets back on the floor, and there's a lot of people say, watch out for Minnesota. You know, now with him, they'll get back Anthony Edwards. Matter of fact, I think they got back Edwards. He didn't play tonight? No, he didn't play tonight. But Karl Anthony Towns had 22 in his return in just 26 minutes. Boy, did they miss him. But the problem is him and Anthony Edwards have just not played a lot together this year. Because one gets injured, then the other's healthy, the other gets injured, and the other's healthy. I mean, it's been tough sledding to get those two on the court together. We're at 5:44 to go in the fourth with the Lakers leading Phoenix 106-100. We have under 233.5 for our live bet of the night here on the show. May good fortune smile upon you. Now it's 109-100, so that's not good. D'Angelo Russell with 23 tonight. I tell you, I'm so impressed with the way the Lakers have kept it together without LeBron. I'm sure there are a lot of people that thought LA was going to go. Look, I'll be saying I was one of them that thought the Lakers would go into the tank the moment that LeBron, was injured. And not only have they not gone in the tank, they've actually improved their position since he got hurt. No, yeah. God, please. Yep. Well, there's been talk that there's trade rumors that are going to be out there. You know, with it, there's already trade rumors out there about him possibly being moved in the offseason. Everybody thinks he's gonna hang around there and maybe they'll get rid of Anthony Davis, do something to bring in Kyrie, that sort of thing. Yeah, but yeah, well, somebody's going to draft his son. It's going to be a hell of a show. You talk about a circus when him and his son are playing together. Man, what a mess. Tom Moore coming up here in a couple minutes. We'll get some thoughts with the UConn assistant head coach. By the way, did you see ESPN's poised to lay off 7,000 people? Whew. Wow. No. Yes. There are no sacred cows. According, I have dug into this deep because I know a lot of people there, obviously, from my days in Connecticut and my days with ESPN. There are a lot of heads on the chopping block. This could be one of the most transformative changes that we've seen in staffing ever at ESPN. It has the potential to be, it's going to be that kind of, it's going to be the red dress episode. What was it, Game of Thrones? The Red Wedding? Yeah. Red wedding. This is gonna be bad. Everybody's saying it. Stephen A makes $12 million a year, by the way. I've heard talk from some people that Stephen A and or Mike Greenberg. And I've heard Pat McAfee may move into mornings if Greenberg gets blown out. Wow. All right, let's talk UConn basketball. They're in the Sweet 16. Their assistant coach, Tom Moore, joins us next on the Cash In at SportsMap Radio. All right, I've got a... yeah, right? Yeah, I got to fix it and cue it up to a spot where the interview actually starts. Yeah, I'm on it. I'm on top of it, Rose. Good to have you all with us across the country on SportsMap Radio, the SportsMap Radio app, wherever you can see us, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, wherever. Always love, I haven't talked to this guy in, it feels like forever. And with UConn in the Sweet 16, from my days in Hartford, in Connecticut, Tom Moore, who is the assistant head men's basketball coach at the University of, longtime assistant at UConn. Then he left, coached his own team. First thing I want to ask you before I get into this team, you had a chance to be an assistant under Jim Calhoun, and obviously, hold on one second. The last time we did a video call, it's so odd, but we'll fix it. It's okay. That's what makes technology so great in this day and age. So we'll get Tom Moore back on. Brian, let me know that you can hear him. We'll get him back on. Tom, are you there? You got him. Okay. All right. There you are. All right. So I asked the question, differences between, doing this under Danny Hurley and doing this under Jim Calhoun, the difference between coach and working under those two guys. There we go. Okay. So I got an extra 2 minutes. Cool. Okay. Cool. Thank you for being with us. SportsMap Radio, the SportsMap Radio app. keeping tabs on our live bet. 233.5. 111-102 Lakers with 3:57 to go in the fourth quarter. So we're at 213. So we've got basically 20 points of give here on this game, with the Lakers up 112-102. And again, 233.5 was our live bet number. Good luck to you on that. If you have not done so yet, last 15 minutes that we will take texts, contest entries for the Shohei Ohtani Bowman 2018 rookie baseball card. You have to text me your name, where you're listening from, and your AL or NL MVP pick. Send it in to the text line right now. You've got 15 minutes left to enter. 888-670-8549, 888-670-8549. We'll put the names in a randomizer. We will draw it at the end of the show. If you have sent us a text, we got it already. No need to send again. But you got just a couple of minutes if you want to send it. 888-670-8549 if you want to get in on the text-only contest. Our guest tonight in the 2-for-1 is Tom Moore. He does a terrific job. He is the UConn men's basketball assistant head coach. He coached under Jim Calhoun during the Huskies championship years, was a coach himself at Quinnipiac University, the head coach there for 8 years before joining Danny Hurley and this UConn team. Tom, first and foremost, congratulations, and try and give me a sense on the difference between coaching under Jim Calhoun and coaching under Coach Hurley.
I tell you, there's a hell of a lot more similarities than there are differences. They're wired very
233, baby. We dot 233 and a half. We went by a half point. Oh, my God. And it was. It was a sweat to the last second. Problem was he got it at 233. So he pushes. No, he pushes. I got it at 233 and a half. That's why you got to buy the half point, man. Almost done, Papa. My dog is like losing his mind right now. Because usually during the show, my husband is the one that takes him out. So he has to wait until the show ends. Yeah. Cool. Thank you. We had 20 entries into the contest tonight. Right at the end of the segment. Which is why I end the interview early enough. Yeah, we're so. I actually should have told you. There should be a drum roll and then "Celebrate" by Kool and the Gang that we play. Yeah, that's what we've been doing. Okay. Against Arkansas tomorrow night in that Sweet 16 matchup in Las Vegas. And Tom Moore joins us on the show tonight, a former head coach himself at Quinnipiac University, a former could very well wind up a head coach again in Division I college basketball. A lot of movement around the game. And depending on how far UConn goes, he could wind up getting the call again to be a head coach. All right. Couple of house cleaning items here before we get to our contest winner. One, our live bet was a winner. We told you 233.5 on the Lakers and the Suns. Game ended at 233. So we are a winner on our live bet tonight. Hopefully you went with us. And in that case, you wind up with a victory. Next up, it is time to pick our winner. Oh, yeah, baby. We have a Shohei Ohtani 2018 Bowman rookie card that we are going to give away to one lucky person who texted into the show tonight at 888-670-8549 and gave us their AL or NL MVP pick. Here we go. Let's get a winner. The randomizer. I'm actually video recording the randomizer. The drummer's getting tired. Gary in Hawaii. Gary in Hawaii is the winner. Yes, sir. Our first non-Texas winner. Gary, listening in Hawaii, is the winner of the Shohei Ohtani 2018 Bowman rookie card. That's not going to be cheap to mail to Hawaii, is it? Gary, we're sending it on a boat. Check somewhere coastside. Yeah, it'll be going on a boat. You might get it, you might not. No, congratulations, Gary in Hawaii. Winner of this Shohei Ohtani rookie baseball card. Very cool. Congratulations to Gary in Hawaii. He is the winner. Nah, don't text now. If you didn't text in already, that's on you. We gave you 2 hours and 45 minutes to get your texts in. But Gary in Hawaii is the winner. We'll connect with him, and yep, there it is. Congrats to Gary in Hawaii. That's cool. Very, very cool. That's going to do it for us on the show tonight. Fun working with Brian McDonald a couple of days this week. Brian, hopefully we get to do it again next week. Thank you for being a part of the program as always. We are back at it tomorrow, Sweet 16. Tomorrow's going to be our last show of the week, by the way. I will be off on Friday. I'm just letting everybody know that. Taking a couple of Fridays off each month. Got some business stuff to tend to here with Decibel 88 and the cash in. Brian, I enjoyed it. Audience, I enjoyed it. Congratulations, Gary in Hawaii. That's the cash in on SportsMap Radio. Bye. Thank you, sir. Shoot me that promo whenever it's done, and cool. Awesome sauce. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Yep, I'll talk to you. Bye-bye. That's it. Hey, Dookie, we get to go out now. My dog's not going to lose his mind. He's literally sitting here by my chair, losing his mind. Look at this. Can we get a shot of this? I don't think. The camera's not going to reach. Come here. It's okay. Yeah, my dog is losing his mind right now. You can hear him. Listen to him. What was that? What? 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 Yeah, there he is. What? Tell the world how angry you are right now. Come on. What? What is it? What? Huh? You okay? What? What? Come on. This is your chance. This is your big moment. No? Not gonna talk? Speak. Speak. That is the tortured cries of my dog. That's going to do it for us. And Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Congratulations, Gary in Hawaii. You win the Shohei Ohtani rookie baseball card. We'll get that out to you. More giveaways next week. See you tomorrow night on the Cash In on SportsMap Radio. Have a great night. Bye. Stop crying. Goodbye.